Live now, yes. So hi everyone. So thanks for joining. No, thanks for joining the online English group. Today we have an amazing session being hosted by Zian and Deepa, talking about CurieTech, and I'm excited to see what they have in offering for us. I have seen a bits and pieces of your demos previously, but not end to end. So this would be a learning for myself as well. And I see a lot of people. Oh, sorry for that. Somebody had a question. Okay, so I see a lot of interest on this meetup. Almost 110 RSVPs. We had to increase the count from 100. So that's a good thing, and I'm excited. So people who are joining in, say hi, hello. This is the time to network and let us know where you're joining from. I've also opened the Q&A, so if you have any questions, please use the Q&A tab, so that way I'll be able to moderate. Here I have Alex, very famous. If you're in the MuleSoft community, you will definitely know Alex, very famous on the LinkedIn Twitch channel. Thanks, Alex, for joining. And I am myself. I'm Rajesh. I'm the senior manager at Aviva. I lead the enterprise data integrations and all related to data and integrations within Aviva. Um, but I'll let Deepa and Zian introduce themselves, and we can get started from there. Right, Zian.
Sounds good. Hi everyone, nice to be here. I'm Jian. I work on machine learning here at CurieTech. So what we do is build AI agents which help you accelerate your MuleSoft development time. And today we'll be looking at all product features, what kind of agents do we have, and how does all of this fit in your workflow, and how you can start using it. So super excited to be here. Deepa, you want to?
Deepa.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Deepa Shankar. I run go-to-market and marketing at CurieTech AI. Great to be here. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Rajesh, for organizing this. Appreciate that. And Gian is the expert here, so he's going to show you what's in it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mhm. All right. Do you think, Rajesh, we can just get started?
Yeah, we can get started. Yes.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Let's see. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
So yeah, we can just dive deep into the product. So as I give some overview, what is CurieTech AI? We build AI coding agents, which will help you in a bunch of things. Which will, like, you can see some tabs over here, like coding, testing, documentation, code insights, and even migrations. We'll go all over it. The product is at platform.curietech.ai. It's open, so all of you can sign up and start using for your use cases as well. So yeah, essentially we have our agents split into these 5 categories. We can go over them one by one. So let's say we start with coding itself, right? And we have like 4 agents you can see for coding here. We have an integration generator which helps you generate like flows from natural language specs. We have agents to help you generate data weave from maybe like input output examples or mapping tables. If you're working on some existing project, we have code and answer. Like if you want to do some sort of a refactoring, version upgrades, runtime version upgrades, code and answer is your agent to go. And we also have an agent to generate like API specs or AMLs for an API that you are about to design. So let's go over them one by one. If you go here, integration generator, this is what it looks like. So on the top, you can see these 3 options. There's no repository, and there's with repository or upload from computer. So what's the difference? One thing is if you choose a repository, like let's say you have an existing repository, you've connected my GitHub over here, but you can choose that. And then you can ask the agent to add a particular integration flow inside it. What choosing a repository helps you in doing is will help like reuse all the existing components. You don't have to like reconfigure connectors and those kind of things if there is common error handler. So that's the main difference between these two. Um, It's a no repository. Then you have some description tab. Here you write a natural language description of what you want this flow to do. Like, let's say I want to sync like my two Salesforce accounts or something like that. If you have flow diagrams, like PNG diagrams, you can upload that. And then you just click submit. So we can actually look at an example. So each agent has a try example as well. So you can actually click on that. And this is what the pre-filled prompt looks like. So I want a flow which fetches product information from some MySQL database and order information from Salesforce. You want this when a GET request is made to this particular endpoint. I also provided the configurations it requires and some detailed steps of what do I want to do. You can choose the runtime settings that you want this application to run on, like with Java Maven versions. For now, I can just click submit. And this task will keep on running in the background. This is how the timeline looks like. We can, for the time being, we can actually look at some previously run task which I'd done. So this is essentially the same prompt which I'd provided. And what does it come up with? It comes up with like a flow summary, which is just like 2 lines of English summary. Then the actual flow XML implementation. And here you can see that we have configured the connectors and the HTTP database Salesforce. And then there's the actual flow. It actually listens to this product orders endpoint, which is what we wanted. It's also efficient in the sense that it realized that it should call both the end systems like parallelly. So the database and Salesforce, because we wanted to call both of them and combine results from them. Finally, it does the mapping, the combination, implements error handling as well. So this is the entire flow XML. You can just copy into your project and you should be good to go. These are the flow constants, which you can copy paste in your YAML, and also the POM dependencies, like which connector versions did we use to generate this integration. And finally, you see a compilation check flag. We say that compilation is passed. So one thing to notice for all our agents is we try to be extremely accurate, and we provide signals like these. So any code that you use CurieTech AI for, it's almost certainly ensured to be correct. And we have flags all over the place so that your frustration reduces and you just have to like copy paste this flow and you're good to go. So that's what this looks like. Let's say even after this, you want to make some modifications in the flow. We have some features in the sense that you can provide comments on the flow that you have created. So here I have provided some comments like on scatter gather, I had provided that don't use scatter gather, just like process both these things sequentially. And now you see in the same conversation, a new has been
Yeah.
added.
Sorry, can you zoom in a bit? I think people are.
Okay. Is this visible now? This is better.
For me, actually, it was stuck. I don't know if you can refresh your screen, probably.
Okay, I can refresh on it. Can you see the screen now?
Yes. Yeah, it should be better.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So I provided comment and now it's like doing it sequentially, and you can see this comment box is even over here. You can just keep on providing natural language comments, regenerating the flow till all your requirements are satisfied. So that's the first agent. So this is about creating integrations from scratch, just from natural language prompts. We can go back. Let's go to the second agent, right? So once you've created flows, you also want some like transformations in that. You have data from different systems. You want to transform them into some common space. So we have a data generated agent for that. Again, very similar kind of headings over here that you could use things with repository or without any repository. And there is an option of even like creating data use from mapping table. For now, we look for like input output examples. So let's say you have an input example and output example, and you want to know like what's the data view transformation script for this. You can choose the input format first. So we have a bunch of them which are supported, which is like the common ones. Plus we have like EDI fact and HL7 as well. So you can just copy paste that, for example, EDI data over here, and the sample output data. What do you want it to do? You can add like multiple examples as well. So in order for the agent to understand the transformation better, if you have like different cases for input output examples, you can add multiple of those. And finally, we have a thing called as notes, where you can add like any instructions you want about the transformation. That, let's say if the rule is not clear just by looking at the examples, or you want some sort of like efficiencies which you care about, you can mention those in this particular like prompt slot. This is a general prompt slot. And let's again, as usual, try an example. So when you use this is a very simple example, that you want this XML converted into JSON. I copy pasted those and I just submit it, and it comes up with the data view. Just like integration generator, you have options to provide comments here, and I can be like, make this, do not hardcode the field names. Like, do not hardcode the field names. Press regenerate, and yeah, it will just start doing it here. So comments added by me. We can even look at some other example previously done. So let's see. Yep. So this is a fairly complex one compared to what we had seen. This is the input data which I had pasted. This is some JSON which does a bunch of things, and I want to convert this into this XML version. You copy paste these things and you get a data view. And as I said, we have these comments like it's generated and verified for the provided input output examples. So we can even test that out, right? You can go in the playground. So this is my input data. I paste it over here. I want my output data, which is fine. And this is the data view. I can just copy from here, and I can paste over here. And you can see that this just works out of the box. So you do not have to worry about like fixing some problems inside it or things like those. So that's our agent for generating data view from input output examples. If you don't have input output examples, you just have like an Excel mapping sheet. You can even do that. So you again go back to data view generator. With mapping table, you can choose your Excel file, just upload it. Again, any notes, any sort of instructions you want to give the AI, and then you can click on submit, and that will also do the same thing. So good. So in coding, we covered like again integration, data weave. Now a lot of coding tasks are like, as you would expect, maintenance tasks. That what do you do on a day-to-day basis, right? You probably want to change your transformation logic. You want to refactor your code. You want to like add like debugging statements and things like those. And for that, we have code and answer. What's code and answer? Yeah, like you have with repository, and you can choose your repository here, and you just describe your task. Like refactor this flow and break it down into two flows, or just any other natural language task. You can click on enable unit tests. So for example, like if you want to change the tests as well, like because your code is changing and you have existing tests, you can just click on that. You provide VM arguments for your application, like what's the environment keys, and you press submit. So we can actually also look at some previously done example here. Actually, let's go here. Yep. So here I'd asked it to upgrade the Mule runtime version to 4.9. This is fairly involved tasks, and which involves first it went here, it updated the versions, and it figured out that even the runner and the unit versions it has to upgrade. So this is like one example. For it, we can look at I think something else as well. Let's see. Yeah. So here the prompt was that in my particular project, I want to add debug logs in some flow which I already have, process orders flow. And I want to log if an order is a placed order or a cancelled order. And I want to print the value of variables in such cases. And it comes up with a diff. And you could, in fact, see that this is the process orders flow, which you wanted. So note that we did not have to like specify exactly which file this is or what it is. It's just like an instruction that you would give to a developer, right? That will explore the repository, understand what it has to do. And when it's like place order, you are logging the details, you're logging the payload, which is what I asked it to do. And same when it's a cancelled order, I want to like do this particular thing. Again, just as a developer comes up with you with the diff, you can leave comments on it. Like this is your standard code review process. Like you can just say change this debug to info, and I comment it here. These are very simple comments, but you can imagine this could be pretty involved. And once I'm done here, I can request changes. So you can request changes. This task keeps on happening in the background. Uh, you can go back in home and start another task as well, and this you'll be notified when this is done, so that you can come back and take a look at it. So yeah, that was code and answer for you. So what is this for? Again, given an existing repository, all kind of maintenance tasks kind of come up in code and answer. And then we have finally in the coding agents itself, we have API spec generator. So what does this do is we just choose like, do you want OS or YAML? And let's say it's OS. And here in just natural language, you can ask any question like specify what kind of API do you want to create, and it will come up with like OS with you, and you can just talk with it back and forth to kind of improve the specification. So this is just like a normal chat agent. Um, so yeah, this kind of covers the first broad category of coding agents. Um, Again, like maintaining and developing new integrations very broadly. Then I think once you're done with that, the second suite of agents we have is for testing. Uh, and for testing, the first thing which is most relevant is you want to create unit tests. And we have an agent which helps you do that end to end. So again, you go here, you see some form that you have to fill. So you click repository, I choose this repository. I provide VM arguments, and I choose like how many scenarios do I want. So the up to 3 is what it's supported. We generate units flow by flow. So this is only like per flow. Again, you have notes, like any sort of data that you already have, which you want to test, or any sort of mocks or any details you want. You can provide in notes, and you select a flow name. For this project, we extract all these flow names. Let's say this. Let's say I just want 2 over here. Nothing else, and I submit. This starts a task. What does this look like finally? Yeah. So here I had already run this and get members member ID. This is the flow which I wanted to create 10 minutes for. It took like almost 8 minutes to do this. But finally what it does is it first creates the scenarios for you. So it goes, reads the code, understands what the flow is doing. And the scenario here it created was it wants to first test the happy path, which is good, successful member profile retrieval. Then it kind of tests some HTTP BAT request, and it tests some HTTP connectivity error. And finally, you get a pull request on your GitHub project itself. And the details, it's all the details which you had mentioned. So what's the description, behavior, execution, validation for all these tests. And you can go in the files. So this, as you can see, it's an actual unit file. This is the end-to-end XML, which it created. It also created data. So these units require some sample data. So that's what is also created. And again, as you can see, this is like fairly involved. Just by looking at the code, you have to figure this out. And the request. So this was the response data. This is the request data. Again, like other agents, this test is ensured to be working. So you can just check out to this branch, run it locally just to ensure everything is good, and then merge the PR. So it's essentially this simple. So testing is something, which should be very useful. So that's MUnit test generator. Again, flow by flow, you create tests. And there's another helper agent for sample data generator. So let's say you have a data weave, And you don't want to like generate tests for entire flows, but you just want sample data to test whether your data view is fine or not. So you can try example. This is what it looks like. So you choose your input data type, you copy paste your data view, and you want to create like what like sample data for this. So let's submit and see what it does. Refresh this. Yeah, it took 4 seconds, like almost to do this. And we could look at the thing, right? There's payload, there is vars as well, which seems like an array, and there's attributes, and it creates data for all of them. So this is a sample payload. These are sample vars, and this is attributes. And when you pass all these three inputs in the data view, this is the output that you would get. So you would keep on like running this again and again, provide different prompts, and you can cover like what all different examples do you want. So this is for like quick testing, as opposed to MUnits, which does like end-to-end flow testing. So yeah, we started with coding agents, then we come with testing. Once you're done, so these are mostly things which we use for development a lot. But now we also have a lot of work around documenting things or understanding things. And that's what we have our other agents for. So you can go to documentation. Again, once you're done with development, you see we have a bunch of agents over here, which will help you in documentation. So let's see the first agent itself, right? Documentation generator, this like generates documentation for a given flow. Again, this is at a flow level. So you choose your repository and you choose a flow. Let's say get members membership flow. You can choose multiple as well. Like if you want to just create the uh, large document for the entire repo, but for now, like let's choose like 2, and I submit it. You can go back and see what this looks like. Yeah. So this was again the get members flow. Always take a look at the time. It's like almost 1.5 minutes. Let's see what it has created. So this is the flow, which is correct. It starts with creating a sequence diagram. So this is what the sequence diagram is, right? So there's a client, this is the loyalty management API, and the port, which is the actual Mule application, which I care about, and the backend is Salesforce, which is right. You do a get, it like calls this particular thing with query params. Then it invokes Salesforce using this REST API. So it's not using any connector, but just some REST API. And it figures out that the code has like some retries, some interval to wait. It retrieves some member profile details and it returns that. And there's some error handling. So this is a fairly simple flow, but you get the idea that it will create first the sequence diagram. Then it creates like a high-level summary of what these things are, which is fine. Then the flow diagram, it creates a schema and input output examples for this flow. So yeah, this is a fairly long one. So I created some output example as well. It goes down, yeah. And then there are some detailed steps. So all of this was just high-level overview, but this is the actual like detailed documentation. So it gives you an overview that it implements so and so. Flow trigger, external systems that this flow only interacts with Salesforce, but in case you have multiple of those, all of those would be mentioned here. Data processing, error handling, mapping sheets, unit tests as well. So again, from the repository, it figures out that for this flow, what all tests are present and what are the scenarios for those are logging. So this is especially useful for debugging. Like this will give you the entire trace of which all logs would be possible when you run this flow, and some security related details. So just think that you had mentioned the flow name. It took like 1.5 minutes to create this comprehensive documentation by reading and understanding the code. So that's something, again, like as a developer myself, I like these MUnit and documentations both the most because these are things that you don't really want to do. So that's the first agent. Second, we have agents to create like diagrams. So sequence of flow diagrams. This is like just a standalone agent where You have these two. Um, yeah, you see this agent which you had submitted. It is done. This was like I had created two flows: get members member ID, get members membership number, and it created a common sequence diagram about what these things are doing. It figured out that these two are like different endpoints, um, and so on. And yeah. Um, so diagram generator agents will create like your sequence of flow diagrams independently if you just don't want in the documentation. Note that all of these things you can just export. So you created this particular document, you can just export as a docx, markdown, or HTML, and you can copy paste in whatever form like create documentations. So great. Um, this,
Oh, then I think it would be a good place to take few questions.
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll just go in order of received here. So first one is from Anil. Which error CurieTech uses in background?
Oh, we use a bunch of things. Like we have our fine-tuned models as well. It's everything. So
Mhm.
mm.
Okay, thanks. We have one from Chetan Thanur. What is different from any other OpenAI platform and how data security is taken care?
Okay. So first thing is what's the difference between any other OpenAI platform? I think one thing is again you can look at our benchmarks and accuracy because we are very focused on MuleSoft. We can be extremely accurate. So, for example, like we can look at some data view transformation. You can try it on ChatGPT, and you can try it on Curie, and you can see the difference as it is. So that's the first thing. About security, again, first of all, we never use your data for training. Um, all your data is encrypted both at transit and at rest, so you don't have to worry about anything of that sort. But any other specific questions that you're looking at?
Yeah, yeah, we can wait on that if there's any follow-up question. We have one from Edson. Can we migrate project apps from old MuleSoft runtimes to latest, like Java 17?
Yes, you can. So again, like you go and code an answer, you choose your repository here, you just describe your task that migrate the mule runtime to 4.9, you enable M unit tests, and here you can choose like Java 17, and that's the most recent version of Mule, and you submit it. And this task will take some time, but yeah, that's something which is supported right now.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. We have one from Agnesh. Agnesh, what is the data set that was used to train these agents?
It's a mix of things, right? So these are some of things are like very open source, some data which we created on our own. Um, so that it's a mix.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We also have one from Anil. Does these agents have access to internet to provide best outcome, or CurieTech updates these agents or LLMs in background?
Come again?
So,
Do these agents?
so does these agents have access to internet to provide best outcome, or CurieTech updates these agents or LLMs in background?
No, the agents have access to internet, so they can read up documentation online. But like if you want to do like connect a version upgrades, they read up documentation online, figure out what schema changes, and all of that. So yes, they do.
Okay, thanks. We have one from Yogandhar. How about for complex requirements? So yeah, I think his question is for more complex transformations. How this CurieTech will perform?
Right. I mean, on a benchmarks, our data view agent is almost like 90% accurate. I think the answer almost always depends on your use case. So what I would suggest is just give it a try. We kind of test this agents on a variety of things. Like we have tested these on like input outputs, which are like around 500 lines long. So if that defines complexity, um, but yeah, like I think bring your use case and we can test it.
Mhm. Okay. We have one from Anvesh again. What's the deployment model for this solution? What are the security measures in place?
Right. So right now it's SaaS offering. So everything runs on our cloud. Um, Regarding security, we are like SOC 2 certified.
Mhm.
As I said about the repositories, we never use your data for training. Everything is encrypted. So
Okay, and we have a few on the chat as well, so I'll take a couple of them. One from Yogender. Can you show us the code upload option? Is it a zip or jar, or what is needed?
oh, it's zip, so I can actually show you. Let's say here, you can just click on your MuleSoft folder. So you can just point like, let's say if I have loyalty management, yeah, loyalty management API. This is my actual Mule folder. I can just upload it, and yeah, and then you can start doing things over here.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay, we have one from Shwendu Chatterjee. If we upload a project, do you retain the project?
So you have an option of always removing it. So we have it in cache just to make the agents faster. But if you go into settings, there's indexes, and you have a project, all right, and you can just create suspend, and then we'll remove all your data. So if that's something that concerns you, then we have an option to like remove all your project data once you're done with your tasks.
Mhm. I think there's one more. Let's check this. Yeah. So one from Sandeep. Can it take code from XSLT and transform it to data view?
Yes, it can. So like again, if you have like input output examples, right? What you could do is provide your examples because those really won't change. And you can copy paste the XSLT in the extra notes. That hey, this is the XSLT transformation. I want you to convert that into data view, and it could do that.
Okay.
Mm.
Um, Thanks, and just a couple of things for myself. So I think, yeah, this looks like a one-stop shop for more very focused MuleSoft
Mhm.
developer platform, right? So in terms of licensing, how does it work? Is it a free version available currently for developers to use, or
So we have a free version now, and then there are two options. You can either choose a developer pack where individuals can pay for it, and then there's an enterprise pack which you can just contact us for if your entire team wants to use it. So there are two things, but I think for the first 7 days at least everything is free. So you can just try it out, give it a spin, and see how it works for you.
okay? Yeah, I think there's I don't see any more questions here. We can proceed.
Mhm. Okay, nice, great. So yeah, again, like great questions. All of these make a lot of sense. Like we keep on getting these questions almost always. Um, so, but yeah, again, coming back, this is some task which I had uh, submitted again. Like it took like 40 seconds to create this figure for me, and I can also provide some feedback for it. Like, give me more details about error handling, and you just regenerate, and this will create one more thing for you. Yeah. So you can again keep on giving comments in order to refine this figure. Um, and once you're happy, you can also export it as PNGs right now. So that's diagram generator. Then there's also domain diagram generator. This is different from the other things in the sense that it takes multiple repositories into account. So all the agents which you have seen till now just worked on like one project. Here you could like choose like multiple projects. Right now I just have like one over here. Uh, but what this does is then you can build like architecture diagrams. Like if you have your experience, process, and system APIs, and you want to see like how they are linked to each other using what endpoints, like cross project dependencies. That's what this agent is for. And uh, finally, you also have things to generate like mapping tables. You just have a data weave script. You paste your data weave, and you want to create like mapping table out of it for like holding it as a record or something, right? So it will create that for you. Let's see. So this should be fairly quick. Or we can look at this. Yeah, this is the same task which I'd done. So this was a data weave, um, and this is the kind of mapping table it generates. So the source fields, whether it's mandatory or not, target fields, and the rules. And the rules are the actual transformations which you care about. That, yeah, like what's the business logic? to do this particular thing. Again, you can export as Excel files, Markdown, or HTML. And yeah, so that's all about documentation. Um, and now we go to the, so we've again finished the top three. We go to code insights. And these are essentially very broad agents, like you can chat with the repository. So let's say you are working on a new project or which is not documented and you don't know what's happening. So what you could go is go in single repo code lens. This you again choose your project and you can ask any question over here. Like uh, I don't know anything about this, so which all APIs are there? And let's see. Yeah. So and again, from the entire project, it figures out there's post members, there's get members, there's web member ID, membership number, and so on. And it also gives you like actual links. So these are links which you can click and which would lead you to the GitHub. Like this is the page where these projects, and you can see these are what things are implemented, like this get members, post members. So everything is grounded to your project. Unlike, for example, like if you think about ChatGPT, which is just like it hardly has context about what you're working on. And then I can say, let's do this. So I can say describe in more detail. And you can ask any questions about like what transformations are there, whatnot. You can even ask questions about like best practices. So here, let's see if I have something so that it's quicker. This, yeah. So we can go here. Actually, wait, let's see. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, so it's just like you can ask questions about like some best practice violations for this post orders API. And it comes up with like, hey, there's lack of input validation at the start of the flow. Okay, then perhaps you are logging the entire payload at info level, which is not good because the payload might have some like secure fields. So it asks, it's like asking you to like mask the membership number in this particular case. There's no retry for like MQ publish, some things like those. It also says that it's good that you are using all these configurations from external files, which is a good practice, and so along these lines, like there's another feature which I could. So as you see, this is the main like homepage. But you go into settings, and there are a bunch of settings that you could do. If you go into workspace, you can have this option of coding guidelines, and this is like a PDF which you could upload for your organization. And these are the best coding guidelines you want our agents to follow. So be it the actual coding agent, code enhancer, or the single repo code lens, you can upload your file and that content would be read by all the agents. That these are the best practices for your organization. So that's what we have single repo code lens for. There's multi-repo code lens as well. Again, it's very similar. You can just connect like multiple repositories over here, and ask questions across those as well. Like again, how are these two projects linked with each other? And finally, we also have something like code review lens. This is for reviewing pull requests. So every time you have developers creating pull requests, or even like query creating pull requests, you can pass it through this. So again, let's see, we have something over here. Yeah. So I just copy paste a PR link. So review this for me. This is the PR, what it looks like. And this had like intentionally created an error. This logger essentially is wrong. That this would create some runtime problems because of the formatting. And yeah, it simply says that the logger component was incorrectly formatted, which would cause runtime errors when trying to log connectivity or timeout errors, and the fix. So again, every time you have a PR before reviewing yourself, you can just pass it through Curie, um, and we can give like a first order breakdown of what the problems are, which would again like help you accelerate all these code reviews, which take quite a lot of time. So yeah, these were like coding insights. So these are like generic agents. You can like talk to these just like a chatbot, and once you have some specs through these, right, once you understand what do you want to do, you can go and ask the coding agents to implement that for you. So that's kind of the workflow over here. um, and finally we have a bunch of migration agents. What you could do is these help you to migrate from legacy platforms to MuleSoft. um, and these create like documentations for those. So if you can look at into this, we have a bunch of integration platforms over here. There's IBM Ace, Spring Boot, TIPCO 5, Web Methods, BizTalk, OSB. Uh, and you can mention like what all endpoints do you have here, and you can use this agent to migrate again your projects to MuleSoft. But that's mostly about it. I think I'll take questions now, and then we can go into more detail about some other features along with it. But yeah, uh, any questions?
Yeah. Let me see on the chat window. So we have a bunch of questions from Avinash. Anvesh. Uh, so yeah. So outline your red team and instant response playbooks for AI specific failures. Example: jailbreaks, hallucinations, causing prompt outages.
Red team and oh, okay. So red teaming is one thing is for our benchmarks itself. We have eval metrics to see that how many times we do some security errors or things like those, and that number is like under 0.5%. So it's about like leaking secrets in any code which Curie creates. So that's the benchmarking that we do at our end. Um, Apart from that, still I would say that there is definitely possibility that this AI can hallucinate. Um, and I would say that it's always good to have a pair of eyes at the output, look at it before like blindly using it. I think that's the
Yeah.
suggestion. Yeah.
Yes. Which open source or commercial guardrail framework are you use?
We have things built for our own, so we don't use like any third-party things. Again, because it's MuleSoft, it's a very specific domain. Uh, we have that kind of domain expertise embedded into our agents.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, how do you cost limit your user inputs?
How do you cost limit? So, mm, and the okay, so this in the sense like how many tasks can you run or things like this.
Probably yes. In terms of
Uh, I think
usage.
depends, right? Usage. So if you choose the developer pack, I think the pricing is per task level. So that by definition is limited. For enterprises, it's different. I think it depends on the size of the project itself, like how many endpoints do you have. But I
Yeah.
think for more details, you can just go on our website. There's a pricing page over there, and then you can find more details.
Yeah, I think Deepa just shared that page on the chat window if you guys want
Mhm.
to look at it. And we also have one question: which data classification rules are used?
Can you give more details? Like, what do you mean by data classification rules?
Yeah, and we sure. I'm not too sure what does that mean. If you're looking at anything specific, you can just let us know.
Mm.
And I think one from should I do? Can I integrate code review agent with CI/CD?
Oh yeah, yeah, we have heard this a lot. So yes, this is on our roadmap. Should be coming out soon. So we can give the code review agent as an API, and you could use our 10-year CI/CD pipelines. So yeah, point taken.
Again, that's part of the licensing, the separate license.
No, that's part of this entire package itself. So that's not separate.
Okay. We have one from Alex. How can we join the Slack workspace?
Yeah, I think we have a Slack link. Let me see if we can pull it up. Oh, I think Deepa already posted
Oh,
it.
Deepa just shared. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that, Deepa.
So we have a Slack thing as well. If you have any questions or roadblockers.
Yes, we have one more from Shivendra. Any plan to integrate with ACB or Enterprise Studio?
We are thinking about it. I think we were thinking of creating a VS Code plugin which you could essentially use in ACB, and you can fire off tasks from your IDE. So that's again something which we are actively working on. Should be out soon. So take a look at that. So essentially, the IDE is used to fire off tasks, and then you can come to our web UI to look at the task outputs, give comments, things like those.
Awesome.
Mm.
So I think that's so. Let's see on the question side. So which is the best way to reach out to you guys for the
There's a
community?
lot of questions in the Q&A though.
There. Oh, sorry. I missed. Okay, so yeah, a couple of more. So, what visibility do we get on dashboards, audit logs, explanations when content is blocked?
Um, okay, dashboards. Like, what kind of dashboards are you? Like, do you want like usage dashboards or again, Anvesh? And explanations when content is blocked. Like, what kind of content? Um, Again, I think
Mm,
we can take this offline. Like, if you're looking for these additional features, we can have a look about like what exactly is your use case.
yeah, and there's one more. Our model output scan for sensitive data disclosure or secret leakage, which say that classifications.
Right. So model out. So there are two things, right? One thing is, are your secrets already which are there are safe? They are definitely safe. The agent would not create like any secret on its own, right? Unless you provide it in the prompt itself. So you don't really have to worry about that. So all the inputs to the LLMs are encrypted. Like those are safeguarded or masked in some sense. The output of the LLM, I mean, what kind of secret will it create?
Mhm.
Mhm.
There was one question from Chetan. I tried one very basic example and not getting actual result for TWL
Uh,
generation. Um,
Chetan, if you can like share your use case, I think either on Slack or email us, I think we can help. It
yeah,
might be that there's a setup problem or some usage problem as well. So we can take a look.
yes. Um, yeah, let me double check the chat.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that should be it. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Right, yeah. Yeah, let's. Sorry.
Hey, Rajesh, can we get these questions? So, if people are, if we want to address it in the Slack community, we can do that too. Is there any way to download the questions that people asked on the chat?
Yes, I think we should be able to, or at least
Okay,
make
great.
a copy of it so that
Thank you.
we don't miss this. Because I think I'm a bit close, maybe. Yeah, I haven't made a copy of this. All right. So yeah, thanks, Jen, for such a wonderful demo. I think a lot of developers will be very happy to get their hands on CurieTech features,
Yeah.
and I'm sure people will start joining the Slack channel,
Mhm.
and get more questions on there as well.
Yeah.
With that, I think, yeah, this was a good demo. Thanks, Deepa. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Lex, for joining.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah. Hope you all like the product. Give it a spin.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and for
Thanks, Rajesh.
everybody else, yeah, please join the LinkedIn MuleSoft community page. You can also communicate via questions there, and we can coordinate from there with you as well. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. See you.